guys, welcome back. Today I have a super fun video for you. I saw this video idea on Kelly Gooch's channel and I will link that below. I really like her a lot. She posts 4 days a week and she has super original content, which I really appreciate here on YouTube. She does do some of the sort of staple videos like monthly faves and fails or things like that, but she also keeps her collection sort of at a reasonable amount, and therefore I think that causes her to be super creative in creating content that isn't about going out and buying the newest thing all the time. And she also is a project planner, so if you're into that, definitely check her out because she does a wonderful job with that. And she definitely was an inspiration to me for starting my own project pans. So the idea for this video is if you could only keep one. And that meaning, I don't know that she used this analogy, but I'm going to use this analogy. If you knew you were going to be stranded on a desert island tomorrow, which is kind of funny because you would never know that ahead of time, but if you could only pick one thing from each category of makeup to use indefinitely, like forever, you know, obviously this is hypothetical because how would that ever happen? Which would you pick and why? And as she explained in her video, this doesn't necessarily mean this is her all-time favorite product in each category, and the same is true for me. Each one of these has a reason why it would be the one that I would pick. And so if that sounds like fun to you, then just keep on watching. The first category that Kelly talked about was primer. And for me, a primer that I feel like I could use for the rest of my life, never get sick of it, and it would do its job no matter the season of the year, this would be it. And don't laugh because this is just a tiny little sample. I got it on Sephora, but I've talked about it in other videos and I do plan to repurchase it once I downsize my primer collection a little bit. I have quite a few right now, and I don't want them to go bad. So, but anyhow, this is the Too Faced Primed in Peachy. We have a glare today. It's super cold and super bright because we got a huge dump of snow the other night, and so if it's glaring today, that is why. But anyways, back to the video. I love this stuff. This is the Too Faced Primed in Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. And what I like about this one is it is mattifying and holds on to my makeup without making me actually look matte. Like the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, the clear silicone one, that one definitely holds on to your makeup, but it also makes me look super matte. And I'm just not really into that. I want my skin to look like skin, and you know, there's a product coming up that I use for that same reason. So this does hold on to makeup. It feels nice when you put it on. I don't know how cooling I would say that it is, but it feels nice. And the smell is everything. It's supposed to be infused with peach and sweet fig cream. I think it definitely smells more towards the sweet fig side versus the peach side. But I just really love the smell. It feels nice on the skin. It does keep my makeup on. It does mattify, but again, not to the point that, you know, there's no luminosity to your skin. So I think this will be a great one for any time of year, which is why I picked it. I definitely like luminous primers during the winter time, and I like more mattifying primers during the warmer months when I might be sweating. But this one is just perfect. It's right in between, and I think I could wear it all year long. So that is that. And then foundation is, again, for the same reason. This is the Your Skin But Better CC Cream. I have the shade Light, and it is a color correcting full coverage cream, anti-aging hydrating serum. SPF 50 is a big one for me. I love this because I can sans the moisturizer and I can sans the SPF when I wear this, which means I have less layers on my skin. I absolutely would pair these and have paired these two together, since this is a mattifying primer and this is very skin-like. It calls it a serum, and so for me, when I think of that, I think of moisturizers and things like that. So you don't need a moisturizer, or at least I don't need a moisturizer when I use this product. And it also has the built-in SPF, which is great. We have lots of sun here in Colorado. Some probably wouldn't think of us as a sunny state because we get a lot of snow and things like that, but we actually have sun here more than 300 days a year. And so SPF is always something that I want to take into consideration. So this definitely would be perfect for me if I got stranded on a desert island, especially because it has SPF in it. Don't forget your sunscreen, kids. So next on her list was concealer. And this one is definitely my favorite. Not all of these are my #1 favorite. For example, my #1 favorite foundation that I like right now is the Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done foundation. It's pretty sheer. I would almost call it similar to a BB cream, but it has like a cream to powder finish. So I really like that one. And that's my favorite. And this one is right next to it, probably second, you know, maybe 1.5. Is that a possibility? But anyhow, this again is an Urban Decay product. It is also a Naked Skin product, and this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. This is the mini, and I have the shade Light Neutral, which is a pretty good shade match for me at this point. It's brightening, it's weightless, but it is definitely full coverage. And I also feel like it's, I don't want to say it's moisturizing, but it's definitely not dry. Like, I bought the Shape Tape and I hate it because it is so dry, and given my, you know, newly starting to age under eye situation, it's just not a good match for me. This one is amazing, and I can apply it any old way that I want. If I feel like using my beauty sponge, I will do that. If I feel like using a concealer brush, I can do that. If I really just want to quickly pat a little bit in under my eye with a finger, it absolutely works for that. So this is my ride or die concealer that I love to use. I will repurchase the full size once I work through the rest of my concealer collection. And yes, this one would be coming to the desert island with me. Next is bronzer. And this is, I just like this bronzer. I feel like it works for me all year long. If I'm light-handed, you know, it's what I'm wearing today. This is in my year-long project pan. And not because I want to get rid of it, but because I like it and I'm giving myself permission to use it every day. I may repurchase it when we're done. I don't know. But this is the #7, what do they call it? Just bronzer. And this is in the shade Caramel. I will show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. But this is a great bronzer for me all year round. I can definitely build this up and wear it during the summer, and it's a good shade for me. I'm obviously wearing it in the dead of winter, and it's like 4 degrees today. And you know, I can have that on and feel like I've gotten a little sun on my skin. But I really love this bronzer. It's all matte. There's no shimmer or satin or anything like that in there. So it's versatile for summer and spring and winter and fall. It works for all of those seasons. I absolutely would use a more satin or luminous bronzer during the warm months. But I could use this all year round and not be hurt about it at all. And it will be coming with me to this, you know, fictitious desert island. Or deserted island. Which is it? Am I saying that totally wrong? So this is a newer product in my collection, but I absolutely knew that I was going to reach for this video this morning as I was gathering my things. And this is in the blush category, and this is just the e.l.f. blush. I don't know if it has a specific name to it. If it does, I'll put it on the screen. But this is in the shade Mellow Mauve. It was recommended by Jessica Braun. And I never hesitate if I'm interested in a product that she recommends, because we're on the same wavelength. Does that make sense? Same with Emily Noel. Like, I look at something and they're on a video and they're recommending it, I'm like, yeah, I want that. And I have no doubt I'll love it. And that was the case with this. I've been, you know, using it quite a bit, although it won't look like it. And this is the e.l.f. Blush in the shade Mellow Mauve, and this is what it looks like. You look at it, it has, you know, a bit of a sheen to it, but I wouldn't even call it satin. It's just smooth and buttery. And the reason I chose this blush is because it's sort of very neutral. It's buildable, so if you really want to build it up, it would work for that. But you can also go super light on it, and it will work for that. It's not too pink, it's not too neutral, it's not too orange or red or anything like that. I think you could definitely use this particular blush with any look. It's similar to the one I'm wearing today, which is an Ofra one that I just got in my BoxyCharm. But again, this is a perfect neutral blush, in my opinion, and I could see myself wearing this every day. So, next is highlighter, and this is going to be a product that many people will probably agree with and maybe would include in their video if they're doing this tag. Speaking of which, I am tagging my sister Emma Mae to do this video because I can't wait to see what her selections will be, and I think this might be one of them, but we'll see. My favorite highlighter, no, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Actually, I gravitate towards some of my other highlighters more, but this is more like my tried and true highlighter, and it's the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. It's in the shade 10, Be My Highlight, although I've never ever seen another shade. This is what it looks like. It looks kind of gold in the pan, but it's really not. It's, what I would say about this is it really is a neutral highlight. It kind of has flecks of everything in it. I think it's peachy. I think it's golden. This is what it looks like. I think you can see almost a silvery cast to it at times. And it is just beautiful. Again, it's what I'm wearing today. I feel like it's super natural and just looks like the sun is hitting your face. I never hesitate. If I'm like, oh, I don't know what highlighter I want to wear today, you know, based on my eye look or my blush or things like that, I always reach for this one because I always love how it looks. It just looks natural and luminous, and who doesn't want that in a highlighter? So this was an easy choice for me, and I bet you my sister picks the same one because I know she loves her some pure nude highlighter. So next, Kelly talked about brushes. I know she did not only pick one brush, she picked one eye brush and one face brush. So that's what I did also. This is not a cheat. I don't have two different brushes. Well, they are two different brushes, but they're essentially the same. This is the MAC 217. This is the short-handled version. You can see it's quite a bit shorter. I didn't actually realize that I ordered the short handle. But you know, it's fine. And then this is the Morphe M433, and they're pretty much identical, like pretty much identical. And I like them both. I think the MAC one is maybe ever so much softer than the Morphe one, but in terms of performance and everything, these are just identical. And what they are is a pinched, fluffy crease brush. You know, they're pinched at the ferrule, see if you turn it that way, but they're fluffy on the end and somewhat tapered as well. And I love these brushes. I didn't realize, I bought the MAC one first, and then I ordered the Morphe one online, and I did not realize I was essentially buying the same one, but I'm not at all hurt that I have two because I use these brushes every single day. I tend to keep one through the week just for, like, you know, according to how much I clean my brushes and things like that. I will try and keep one for lighter colors and use the other one for the darker colors that I want to use with it. But the reason I picked these brushes, I'm gonna put one down just so it's not confusing. The reason I love these brushes is because they're pinched at the ferrule, and that makes them a little bit more tapered and flat. Because they're pinched at the ferrule and fluffy on the end, I think you absolutely, remove glasses, can use this as a crease. You know, using it on its flat like this, I think you can define your crease with this. I absolutely think you can blend with this if you turn it up and down like this, and you just sort of buff out a transition shade or, you know, just blend with it. And then also because it's flat and it's a natural hair brush and very soft, it also will pick up shadows that you could pat on your lid or swipe on your lid. So essentially, you know, and because it's rounded at the top, I think you absolutely could use it for a brow bone as well, or inner corner. I just don't think there's anything that this brush couldn't do if you needed it to do it. So that's why I picked those. Do I think you need the MAC one over the Morphe one? Absolutely not. Like I said, I ordered this one first and had no idea that this one, when I ordered it, was very, very similar. And the Morphe one is like $5 or $6 versus the MAC one that's $25. You don't need it. So those are the eye brushes that I would pick and take with me. And then this one is not super clean, so you know, just bear with me. These are my true ride or die brushes that if I could only have one, this is what I would bring with me. And surprisingly, this is an e.l.f. brush. They call it the e.l.f. blending brush, but there's nothing that this brush can't do for my face. This is what it looks like. It's sort of pinched at the ferrule again, which is, you know, what you saw with the eye brushes, but it's fluffy and super soft on the end. You would think for a $6 brush that it could not be as soft as a MAC brush. It absolutely is. I really want to find a backup of this and just keep it in case this, you know, would ever get destroyed for some reason. It washes super well, and I just love the shape of it. Because it's pinched, you can be, you know, use it for definition, like if you want to use it for a bronzer. I use this every day with my Hourglass ambient lighting powder, and this is, you know, how I buff and press flour. Yes, I put flour all over my face. Powder. This is, you know, how I buff powder into my face, even if I need to touch up later on in the day and sort of, you know, keep my oils at bay. I use this brush. But I also think, again, you could use it for a contour or a bronzer. You could bronze up here with it. You can absolutely turn it like this and use it for a blush brush. It would be great because it's so dense, it easily picks up pigment, you know, so you could use it for blush. And then you also could use it for highlight. You know, it depends on how much highlight you like, but I think if you just took this edge right here and dipped it in your highlighter like this, and just lightly went right here with your highlighter, I think you could absolutely use it for highlighter. So this is, to me, the perfect brush, and it's literally $6. I know my sister also has a brush like this and really loves it. So I definitely recommend that one, and it's coming with me to my desert island, or deserted island. Did we decide? All right, so brushes are done. Next are lips, and I am wearing this color today, and it is by MAC. This is just a little baby mini guy, and it's in the shade Velvet Teddy. Dramatic MAC. I will link her channel below. She loves this shade, and I do too. Again, it's what I'm wearing today, but it's a very perfect rosy, nude, dusty rose color. And, you know, one swipe, as you can see, and this is the pigmentation you get. This is a matte formula, so I find it to be really versatile. Again, it's what I'm wearing today. I have another one from MAC that's similar called Whirl, and that has a little more of a brown nude to it, so I like that one for that, and it's also a little bit darker. But this one also has quite a touch of rose to it, which is what I like about it. If I'm looking to add a little bit more pink to my look without wearing an actual pink lipstick, I will reach for this one, but I think it could work with warm looks as well. It's just a great nude for my skin tone, and so it's coming with me. And then the last thing that you're probably all been waiting for to see what I would say is which palette am I going to bring with me. And this was an easy one for me too. As soon as I, you know, started thinking about doing this tag video, this is the palette that immediately came to my mind, and it's the Lorac Mega Pro 2. And quite honestly, any Mega Pro palette would be a great one to take with you, because just look at the number of colors that you get in here. I don't remember exactly how many colors come in here, but just the variety in here is amazing. These top two rows are all matte, and these bottom two rows are all shimmer, and you have a gradient from light to dark. So there's just endless things that you could create out of here, and I would be totally sold, you know, totally sold. That's so weird. I don't even know where that came from. I would be totally content is what I'm looking for. I would be totally content in using this palette every day for the rest of my life because there's just endless variations. There's pinks, there's oranges, there's a green, purple, blue, silvers, champagne. You know, you've got browns both in the matte and the shimmers. I mean, there's just so much you could do. So this was a really easy one for me. And again, this is not my #1 favorite palette. I don't even know if I have a #1 favorite palette at this point in time because I just like eyeshadow to begin with. But this one is amazing. I love that it has both matte and shimmers, and it has light to dark gradient. So there's just a lot that you can do with this, and that's what I'm taking with me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, not all of these are my #1 favorite products, but they are products I could use every day for the rest of my life if I had to choose. I thought this video was really fun, so thank you to Kelly Gooch for starting this tag. And, you know, she just said, if you want to do this video, you do this. So I'm not getting tagged by anybody. I have a very, very minute, tiny amount of subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in my next one.